I want to say how honored I am to stand before you all. My friends, my classmates, my family, my academic adjudicators, and the people who thought their connecting flight to Chicago was leaving out of this terminal. Go outside, take the moving sidewalk. But before I begin, Southland has kindly asked me to point out your emergency exits located on the left and the right of the building, and that in case my speech crashes, your seats do double as a flotation device. Now, I'm not trying to start off by making fun of Southland. I don't think you understand what a rush it is to speak in a building of this size and magnitude. I Google Earthed this place on my way here to give someone in my family directions, and it took up 2 pages. It's very impressive. And before I stood before this crowd, I thought I wouldn't see any friends. I thought there'd be too many people for me to pick you out, one by one. But that's what I found to amaze me standing before you. When I look around, I see people that over the past 12 years, I have grown very close to. So close to you, today, instead of giving the speech I had in theory planned, I'm going to tell you about a dream I've had. No, not that dream, don't worry. But over the past 12 years, I've had some sort of reoccurring dream about this day. I dreamed that I would stand before you all, and I would get to say those words that we've been waiting to hear over those past 12 long years. 12 long, hard, painful years. Congratulations, East Jessamine High School class of 2008. Looks like we made it after all. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, sometimes I dream of musicals. And then after I sung that song, someone would come up here and tell us to take these funny-looking cat toys on top of our geometrically shaped hats and move them to the other side. And then in my dream, they'd play that awful As We Go On song, and I would shed a tear. Now today is the day I get to live out that dream standing before you all today. Someone's going to come up here, tell us to move our tassels, and God forbid they play a different song at graduation one year. I suggest Freebird if you're looking for something for next year's ceremonies. But one thing is different about today than my dream. Okay, a couple things are different. You're all fully clothed and don't have animal heads and angel wings, and I'm not going to have to change my sheets when I leave here, hopefully. But one thing solely is different. Standing before you all today, the most emotionally charged day of my life to this point. The first major milestone in the path to my inevitable successes, I thought I would need to cry. But for some reason, I have no urge to shed a tear, happy or sad. Partially because if I did, Wes King would never let me live it down. For how many times I've told the story over the years, and every time in 5th grade when Wes would steal my chocolate milk, I'd poke him in the stomach, and once he cried. But a more legitimate reason for my lack of tears would be this, and I can't express it better than the Dr. Seuss said before me. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And when I read this quotation when preparing for this speech, I felt kind of selfish to think I would cry today standing before you all. When I look back at the memories we've shared together as a class over the past 12 years, I should be smiling for the rest of the summer. Maybe even longer if I didn't have to go to college at the end of it. And for the record, I am going to college. I'm sorry if you lost that bet. Standing there in the cafeteria, 10th grade, watching Alex Hendren teach our class a very practical definition of collateral damage in a food fight as he hit everyone sitting around us. Hitting Justin Baxter in the face on accident in French class. Winning air band. Losing air band, even though we kind of should have won, but whatever. The West Jessamine student section holding up a picture of Justin and I in a very compromising position. Ask someone else. I don't want to talk about it in front of everyone. These memories are more important to me than anything I have over the past 12 years. More important than this cap and gown or this, okay, whatever that is. But here's what I want to make sure that you know this. These should not be the best 12 years of your life. That is a pain I do not wish upon any of my enemies. If CATS testing and portfolios are the best years of your life, then you have done something wrong. So this is what I want to stress to you today. As your last, and to be honest, I never really expected much of any of you, first man as Commander-in-Chief, I want all of you all to leave here today and make memories so happy, so great, that if these memories that we're discussing about today's sole job was to make a shelf for your new ones, they would fail in the wait. Because that's what life's about. So as I sit down here today to have someone come up here and tell us to turn our tassels, because I doubt they'd let me do it for fear that I'll sing again, I start to put this day to memory, because that's what I realized I want all of my memories to come from. Dreams I got to live out can now reflect upon down the road. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's dreamt about walking across this stage in this ridiculous attire. It means a lot to all of you. That's why you're still here. So that's what I want to tell you. Live out your dreams quickly, because you don't know how much longer we all have left. Live them out, the ones you have laying around, fast enough to make new ones, and live them out too. So that one day, when I meet you all again down the road, we'll have some awesome stories to talk about. Congratulations. I honor you all, and good luck. Not that any one of you should need it.